Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome everyone to this side event for the Science, Technology, and Innovation Forum, the STI Forum here in New York at UN headquarters. The name of this side event is Youth Innovation Bolstering Climate Action Through Agri-Food Systems Transformation in the Context of COVID-19 Recovery. Now, this event is hosted by the World Food Forum and the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations. My name is Ed Bogart, and I am joining you from the World Food Forum coordination team here in New York. And we're also joined in Rome, Italy at FAO headquarters for a second part of our panel, as well as remotely by several speakers who will be joining us from around the world. We will be joined by quite a number of quite impressive panelists here today, as well as young leaders who are making everyday change in agri-food systems. And before we get into getting to know each of them, I'd like to introduce our moderators for today's event. In addition to me, I'm joined by Janina Peter here in New York, who leads our innovation team at the World Food Forum. And then we're also joined in Rome by two moderators, Maria Colesina and Pablo Pereira, who are joining in Rome, Italy, and will be moderating the conversations happening there. So before we get into all of that, I'd like to set a little bit of context and mention that we are now just over 2 years since we launched the World Food Forum in April of 2021. And I think as you'll see during this event, in that short amount of time, we've made a lot of progress to give young people a boost in terms of getting access to support and an ability to nurture the solutions that they're developing to support agri-food systems transformation. And that is the mission that we are supporting every day at the World Food Forum and with our partners that are joining here today. And so before we kick off and we hear from some of these young leaders, I'd like to share a video that sets a little bit of the tone for 2023 World Food Forum. And this will showcase the theme of the World Food Forum 2023, which is Agri-Food Systems Transformation Accelerates Climate Action, or in short, Food Action Accelerates Climate Action. And it really brings to attention the strong linkages between both the problems and the solutions that we have that face both our agri-food systems and our climate. So let's now watch the video and learn a little bit more.
As Ed mentioned, my name is Janina and I lead our innovation activities here at the World Food Forum. And with our innovation lab at the World Food Forum, we're building an ecosystem for young and youthful innovators to come in at any stage of their innovation journey, whether it is with an idea, whether it is with an existing startup, whether they come from a research background or from the private sector. And today's event brings together many of these different programs. It will be divided into 3 different parts. We will first hear from our World Food Forum Young Scientists group, a group of young researchers who are doing fantastic work and will share with us what they have worked on over the last year. The second part of this event will focus on the kickoff of this year's Transformative Research Challenge, as well as highlight the Youth Food Lab, our new incubation program. And the third phase of this event will launch our Startup Innovation Awards. But before we kick off, let's hear from our colleagues in Rome. Over to you, Maria and Pablo.
Thank you, Janina. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm very pleased to see so many young people here today. My name is Maria, and today, together with Pablo, we will be moderators of this event here in Rome.
Thank you, Maria. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Pablo. Joining us today, we have 2 senior leaders from FAO who are also strong champions for science, technology, and innovation. We have FAO Chief Scientist, Ms. Ismahan El-Wafi, who will be joining us from New York, and FAO Chief Economist, Mr. Maximo Torero-Cullen, who are here with us. First, we will hear the opening remarks from FAO Chief Economist. As Chief Economist and also Chair of the FAO Youth Committee, Mr. Torero has been the patron for World Food Forum since it was launched in 2021. Without further ado, I'm delighted to hand the floor to Mr. Maximo Torero-Cullen for his opening remarks. Maximo, the floor is yours.
Oh, thank you so much, and good morning to New York, and good afternoon to you here. Thank you very much for joining Youth Excellencies to be with us today. It's a pleasure to have you all around, and especially in this side event, which is trying to bring the Youth STI Forum on Science and Innovation. As you all know, we are facing significant challenges. I don't need to repeat those. We are not on track to achieve SDGs, especially the ones related to food and nutrition. SDG 2, inequalities are increasing. SDG 10 and poverty has been increasing substantially. So whenever there is a crisis, there is an opportunity. And I think we have an opportunity here to try to make a difference and trying to start to change the way we operate and to try to bring new ideas and new innovations in which we can together work to create a transformation that we need. And the youth, together with their passion, creativity, and innovation, could help and play a significant role on this. And that's why the World Food Forum was created. The World Food Forum was created as part of the Youth Committee of the Food and Agriculture Organization of United Nations, FAO, in 2021. And its goal was to empower youth to transform our agri-food systems and achieve the SDGs. Transforming the system is very complex, and it will have a lot of interlinkages and complexities, which makes life and decision-making complex for the next years. The World Food Forum this year has as a major topic agri-food systems transformation that accelerates climate action. Why? Because both are interlinked. We need to transform the system, but we also need to create action in terms of climate. Agriculture will be the sector most affected by climate, but at the same time is the sector that also affects climate. Because we, in agriculture, we create in the agri-food systems, not only deteriorate our natural resources, reduce our biodiversity, but also affect emissions, especially methane emissions, which are extremely complicated for climate change and which will not allow us to achieve the goals if we don't create the corrective actions. So this joint topic of bringing up the system approach and the interlinkages is central. But as all of you know, science, technology, and innovation are at the heart of everything we try to do in the World Food Forum. And I'm very happy that the chief scientist is together with us, given that she's leading the science work in FAO and also with all of you. This is why we established the Young Scientist Group, the GSG, as a scientific approach to youth action, especially based on science and innovation. They represent the present and the future generation of scientists who provide evidence-based and technical knowledge to various initiatives of the forum and on specific policy issues of particular concern to youth related to agri-food system transformation. I would like to use this opportunity to congratulate the first cohort of young scientists for their 2 years of hard work. Today, they will be launching the first YSG report, proposing science-based and action-oriented recommendations of particular concern to youth to develop and implement for agri-food system transformation. I have been reading the report in the last week, and especially during the weekend, and I thank you for all the efforts you did to provide and develop such a comprehensive report. I would also like to welcome and congratulate the second cohort of Young Scientists Group. This transition reflects the continuation of the World Food Forum scientific approach within the forum. In addition to this, the World Food Forum is also going a few steps further by nurturing youth-led solutions from ideas into implementation through our innovation lab activities. So it's not only to bring science and evidence, but it's also to act and to bring innovation. And that's where the lab of innovation is bringing up. Last year, when we finished the World Food Forum, I committed myself that we will be linking also the investment forum to this lab of innovation. And we are going to do that this year. The youth innovation will be brought in one of the rooms that will be especially targeted to roadshow your innovations that you're trying to tackle, especially as much as you can link them to the countries that will be present in the World Food Forum, which will be more than 30 countries. Those innovations will then be exposed to investors, and I hope you will be successful in at least starting the contacts with the private sector, with the IFIs, international financial organizations, and other traditional donors to see if you can also move forward your innovation. The World Food Forum Research Competition, the Transformative Research Challenge, the TRC, now in its third edition, serves as a medium where global youth can pitch their research ideas to transform agri-food systems, end hunger, and accelerate the climate action, with this year adding significant funding grants for winning solutions. Together with Wageningen University and Research and the World Food Forum has also launched the Youth Food Lab Incubator Program to guide, assist global youth in transforming those ideas into tangible projects. I would like to congratulate the first cohort of pilot Youth Food Lab with 10 participant teams from across the world. The World Food Forum also supports and empowers young, innovative entrepreneurs and startups with brilliant, groundbreaking projects of transforming agri-food systems through its startup competition, the Startup Innovation Awards, powered by the Extreme Tech Challenge. Last but not least, I want to use this opportunity to congratulate all the youth leaders participating in the event. Your ideas and continued support empowered the World Food Forum. Finally, I want to encourage all young scientists and innovators to participate in the World Food Forum this year and take part of these competitions, and especially try to bring new ideas, new innovations out of the box that could help us to resolve the challenges we have. Thank you again, and I really look forward that we keep moving ahead this machine so that we can accelerate the process of transformation and working together, youth and us, the elderly, so that we can move forward the transformation that we need. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maximo, and thank you for highlighting the role of youth as active agents of change and sustainable transformation. But now let's hear from young innovators and let's learn more about the solutions that they have. I would like to hand the floor back over to New York to our colleagues. Janina and Ed, over to you.
Thank you, Maria and Pablo, and thank you, Maximo, for your continuous support, especially for young innovators, and for these encouraging words. Let's now move to our first panel. It's my pleasure to introduce Shilang and Dinesh, two of the first Young Scientist Group members who have had a very busy year, so I'm excited to hear what they have been working on. Over to you, Shilang and Dinesh.
Thank you, Janina, for introducing us. Hello, everyone. Greetings. Good morning, New York, and good afternoon, Europe, and then who are listening to you based on your local time. Myself, Dinesh Pandey. I'm a soil scientist, and I have my friend Shilang.
Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. This is Shilang Fei.
And we also have Alicia from Rome. I think she will speak later. So let's. And then thank you for providing this opportunity that we are speaking on behalf of our young scientist groups. Last year, as a chief economist mentioned, that we had 20 young scientists, and I, Shilang, and Alicia, and then 17 others, we represent the young scientist groups. At YSC, I serve as the coordinator of the scientific report writing working group. And then it took a little time for us to, like, what is the burning issue, and then what agenda we have to find it out. And then I'm really grateful to the chief scientists and then chief economists who provided valuable suggestions and feedbacks during the preparation of this report as well. And then let me talk a little bit behind the story that how we come with this report is that first we went through the one of the FAO publication that came in 2021, the State of Food and Agriculture. And it highlights that especially about the agri-food system resilience, Agri-food, it mentioned about the agri-food definition of the agri-food system resilience and then a framework for analyzing it, and then also it included the guideline principle for building more resilient agri-food systems. Then this just triggered us like, okay, so we need to something do in the agri-food system because, as you know, at present condition, our agri-food system are suffering from the strong negative impact due to global climate change, biodiversity loss, ecosystem degradation, and economic and public health crisis from the COVID-19 pandemic. Now the key challenge is we need to transform the current agri-food system into the more resilient, sustainable, equitable, and accessible system for all. It cannot be with a single effort. It needs a joint effort, and we need to be everyone on the same table. But again, who will be the main driver? Because someone need to identify and support this transformation so that we want to have what we are looking for. And in this sense, we found the youth, including diverse groups such as rural youth, indigenous youth, young women, who can play a crucial role for driving sustainable and resilient food system. And here is our report. I think you will see our report later as well, but we just published our report with the title, Opportunities and Barriers for Advancing Agri-Food System, Empowering Young People for a Sustainable Future. In our report, we have two components. One is with finding out the opportunities and then barriers, what is triggering for advancing agri-food system. Another thing is how we can connect youth for this transformation of agri-food system, that what we are looking for. And on this report, I especially want to thanks to Emma, who served as a coordinator at YSC, and all the YSC members who contributed to write up this report. I'm really grateful to all of my friends, and then FAO chief scientists and chief economists who provided valuable suggestions through the entire period of time, and also thanks to all the staff of the World Food Forum. We have 5 different chapters in this report. The chapter 1 gives us an overview of the latest issue, that how agri-food system is affecting. If you take an example that by 2050, we are expecting the population of 10 billion, where we need to increase the crop production by 60%. But at the same point, we also have a huge crop loss or huge food loss, especially those food waste or food loss or food waste, if you take an account, is about 1/3 of the food produced. In a way that there are also some data suggests that if we consider that food loss of the food into the valuable food, we can still feed that 2 billion population. And then there are a lot of people who are under or who cannot meet the nutritional diet. So there are a lot of issues affecting the agri-food system. It is not only at the production side, but also like how we can make a better scenario that we can increase production. At the same time, we can reduce the loss or waste. The chapter 2 covers the focus on the challenge that faced by the youth who are working to advance sustainable agri-food system. And in this chapter, we especially highlight 3 points. One is the lack or limitation of the resources, for example, land, finance, or even the human resource, how youth are being deprived from those resources. Second thing is our perception that agri-food system or even agribusiness is still considered as like a low profile in a community, that how we can bring those changes. And then third one is that there is not much intervention of the youth in the policy, because policy maybe we need to start from the local or even from the government or national level. So how we can reach these things? So we highlighted those challenges as a barrier in how they are interfering youth who are working in advanced sustainable agri-food system. And then chapter 3 that has identified and explored 4 clear enablers of youth empowerment, and those are education, technology, science, and policy, because we need to have this everything together, and then it's not like we can separate one from another, but we have been providing with some suggestion and then recommendation. I would like to give the floor to my friend Shulang to talk about the chapter 4 and chapter 5.
Thank you, Dinesh. This is Shulang Fei from the Chinese Academy of Agricultural Sciences. I'm a researcher on urban agriculture and food policies at the local scale. So again, it's a great pleasure to be part of the Young Scientist Group and contribute to the report. So next, I will be introducing what we have included in Chapter 4 and Chapter 5. So in Chapter 4, briefly, we highlight existing youth-based initiatives for improving agri-food systems. This chapter presents 6 case studies across the world. They include the story of the Young Farmers Federation of Uganda, which raises the voices and interests of young farmers in Uganda. And we also have the story of Elixir Foods in Brazil, who transformed the byproducts of cocoa into nutritious food ingredients, contributing to the circular economy. And we also have the story of the Institute of Urban Agriculture in China, where I'm working at. They are using multidiscipline and multi-stakeholder collaboration mechanisms to enable young scientists to solve the local problems. And we also have the story of youth engagement in the 2021 United Nations Food System Summit. And in Australia, we have the story of healthy food systems, which contribute to a lot of policy making locally. And finally, we have an interview with an indigenous youth advocate who have introduced the challenges as well as opportunities we can do to promote the indigenous youth population. And then in Chapter 5, we have a wrap-up of what we have found in the report, and then provide a total of 18 science-based and action-oriented recommendations across 4 betters and call for actions. For example, in better production, we recommend to promote more responsible and sustainable production, and increase awareness about urgent production issues and encourage continuous education and training paths. And in better nutrition, we recommend to support nutrition policies across all sectors of the government, and also redesign food environments as well as to generate positive narratives on healthy diets. In better environment, we recommend to scale up climate-smart and sustainable environmental practices, as well as to leverage indigenous knowledge systems, and also to better integrate agriculture and related disciplines into education. For better life, we strongly recommend to enhance opportunities for youth, to create better conditions for human capital, and to make agricultural policies more gender inclusive. And finally, we call for actions from all to enhance opportunities for funding and investment in science and technology, to connect young scientists to international organizations, to support mentorship and career development, to establish a networking platform, and also to strengthen policy dialogue and create permanent seats for all of our young scientists. So together, we believe we can do better for a better food culture. Thank you. And we are back to Dinesh.
We'd like to transfer this floor back to the Alicia, who will mention our name list of the second cohort. Alicia, the floor is up to you.
Thank you, Dinesh and Shulang, for this excellent introduction to our report. And, well, it was a really nice pleasure to be part of the Young Science. Apologize in advance for any mistake in the pronunciation. I'll try my best. So, welcome and congratulations to Ambrogio Zanzi from Italy, Ana Luisa from Brazil, Asma Sharma from Nepal, Ayaz Mukarram from India, Celia Burgaz from Spain, Cherry Russell from Australia, Ebba Enstrom from Sweden, Gideon EM from Nigeria, Isnawati Hidayah from Indonesia, Haiteng Li from China, Margaret Hegwood from the USA, Meshak Bhagwad Gwidi, Meshak from Benin, Ram Nyopani from Nepal, Ramudan Uru from Benin, Sofia Cavalleri from Italy, and last but not least, Tarini Gupta from India. So guys, really welcome all of you, and we cannot wait to meet all of you together and start working towards a better future for all. So welcome on board. And I leave the floor back to New York. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elisa. Thank you to Dinesh and Shulong, and thank you to all the young scientists in our first cohort. They've done a fantastic job, not just on this report, but throughout the year, really giving a base of science and data and technology into everything we're doing at the World Food Forum. So thank you all, and we welcome the new cohort. We look forward to see what you all do in the next 2 years. And with this part, it's now time to transition to the second panel. This one is called Nurturing Youth-Led Solutions from Idea to Implementation. And really at the heart of the mission that we have at the World Food Forum Innovation Lab, it's to identify and nurture youth-led solutions. And a big piece of this past 2 years has been specifically in a couple of different programs that we'll talk about in this next panel. First is the Transformative Research Challenge, which empowers young researchers to propose research-based solutions to transform our agri-food systems. And second is the newly launched Youth Food Lab, which is an incubator program that we've launched just a couple months ago with Wageningen University and Research, and along with the International Association of Students in Agriculture and Related Sciences. This program helps to nurture and grow the impact of the amazing ideas and solutions that we find in competitions like the TRC and other global competitions with our partners. So to showcase a little bit of the details of this, and also to show some new changes for this year, we have a video that we'd like to show you. So I'll now pass it off to my colleague to play the next video.
Hello everyone, this is me Omar Farhat. I am the head of the Food and Agriculture Youth Institute, an independent committee of IAS World from Heverlee, Belgium. I am very happy to introduce you and encourage you all to apply for the Transformative Research Challenge, especially the special prize on the role of water in agri-food systems transformation. Really looking forward to receiving all your applications, and go for it.
Hi. I'm Joukje Siewega, Program Manager Global One Health at Wageningen University and Research. We are proud to sponsor this special prize, and we're excited to see you're interested in participating. We'd love to hear your ideas that can help create food systems that are safer from infectious diseases and more resilient. The best ideas will receive mentorship and grant money to promote health for people, plants, animals, and the world.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am Felix Njemi, coordinator of the Pest de Petit Ruminant Global Eradication Program, working at the FAO headquarters in Rome. In 2022, was established a Pest de Petit Ruminant special prize. This prize supports master degree and PhD students for collecting data for their thesis. In 2023, this prize will be renewed. We call all master degree and PhD students to apply for this special prize. Thank you.
Did you know that 14% of the world's food is lost every year from harvest up to, but not including, the retail market? We waste enough food to feed 1.3 billion hungry people every year. Through Food Loss and Waste Special Prize, you could be part of the solution by sending us your innovative research proposal to solve this. So what are you waiting for? We are counting on you.
This special prize focuses on our theme of this year, Agri-Food Systems Transformation Accelerates Climate Action. We challenge young researchers to propose innovative resilience-building solutions to transform agri-food systems and help mitigate climate shocks. The winners will receive visibility at our Global World Food Forum flagship event in October, access to our network including UN agencies, opportunities to publish their research, and many others.
Hello everyone, my name is Bruno Ferreira, co-founder of the first and only Food Bank of Bolivia, a circular initiative that tends to solve the problem of food waste and hunger in our beautiful country.
Hi, I'm Finfolua. I'm from Quality. At Quality, we are committed to improving the standard and quality of beans in Nigeria.
Hi, I'm Arturo Venturella, co-founder of Pura Regenerative Cultures and Nature-Based Solutions, an impact business with a mission to facilitate the transition to regenerative agriculture and to scale up ecosystem restoration.
Hi, this is Pashem from IMI and I represent the Water Security Passionate Group. My work is essentially to increase water productivity in developing countries starting from Ethiopia.
Welcome to Youth Food Lab 2023, Team Hydropan. My name is Dennis, the founder. Our objective is harvesting water for crop production by small-scale farmers in Asals.
Hi, I'm Samara Polvatta from the School Meets the Reef team. We are working on coral reef rehabilitation and ocean literacy in Sri Lanka.
Hey, I'm Onurai from Wetlands for Nepal. My team works in wetland restoration using nature-based solutions while promoting green economy. Thank you.
I'm Anissa from Mama for Planet Indonesia. Food waste and loss contribute at 10% of the greenhouse gas emissions. In Mama for Planet, we empower mothers to be the agents of change for zero food waste habits at the household level.
My name is Stephen Bright Sakwa from Team Bees and Trees, Uganda. Our intervention focuses on giving farmers an extra source of income through beekeeping and tree growing to reduce the despair that usually drives them into encroaching on natural resources.
So you saw it. This year, for the Transformative Research Challenge, we have 5 fantastic special prizes. We have 5 different categories that young researchers can apply for with their transformative solutions. And besides getting visibility, access to network, and mentoring, there are also special prizes of up to $10,000 to implement their research. We will share a QR code in the end of the event that you can scan, where you will find all the information, all the details, and how to apply. So I want to thank all of the amazing co-hosts that are making this possible. And I also want to thank our fantastic teams working through the Youth Food Lab. So really, your work is so inspiring, and it's amazing to work with all of you. And I'm happy that some of these co-hosts, as well as Youth Food Lab participants, are here with us today. So we have Joukje, who is joining us online from Wageningen in the Netherlands. We have Nafin, who came to Rome all the way from Jordan. And we have Davrina from Indonesia here with me in New York. So let's start the second panel. Joukje, going over to Wageningen. Please introduce yourself, your role at Wageningen University and Research, and tell us a bit more about how this special prize on Global One Health that we're working on together came to life. Over to you.
Thank you, Janina. Thank you, and it's lovely to see you, even if I can't join you in person today. Hello, Rome, New York, and hello to participants all around the world. So my name is Joukje Siebenga, and as Janina said, I dial in from Wageningen in the Netherlands. I work at Wageningen University and Research, where I am program manager for our Global One Health research and investment program. Many of you will be familiar with the One Health concept. It looks to optimize and balance the health of people, animals, plants, and ecosystems alike, and in a sustainable manner. And that almost by definition means that people from different backgrounds and disciplines have to collaborate. In Wageningen, students and staff study plants, animals, livestock and wildlife, ecosystems, food and nutrition, behavior, food systems, and importantly, how all of these are connected. A lot of our work within the Global One Health program focuses on zoonoses, so on infectious diseases that can infect multiple species, including people. And one of the main things that we think about is how to prevent them from disrupting the world as SARS coronavirus did. Outbreaks and epidemics of smaller or more slow scale are important to us too. Many of the drivers for the risks of zoonotic disease stem from human-made changes to our environment. And many of these changes result from or are connected to agri-food systems. So thinking about climate change, land use change, deforestation, and ever-increasing globalization of trade, that really means that when we want to think about what positive changes we can think of to reduce the risk of future pandemics or zoonotic outbreaks, we need to make these changes there. So at the place where the risk of zoonosis is the biggest. And often this is in the vicinity of our food systems. Today, the topic focuses on taking climate action through agri-food systems transformations. And we do all of this in the context of recovering from COVID-19. So these are three very big concepts that are all huge challenges in themselves. And the fact that this meeting took them all together is, of course, because they're all interlinked. And they also all have impact on our health and on the health of other species. And as I just highlighted, transforming our agri-food systems in a positive manner can also lead to reducing the risks of zoonoses. Now, to the special prize Global One Health. When I was at the Transformative Research Challenge events last year in October in Rome, I was very impressed by the energy and the inventiveness and the can-do sense of urgency of the young leaders there. So we at Wageningen decided to join the Transformative Research Challenge team and co-host a Global One Health Special Prize. We are open to your ideas at any scale, regional, national, or global. What can people around the world do to promote health for all species and the world they live in to minimize the chance of zoonotic disease? We would love to hear your ideas as to how to get to safer and more resilient food systems by taking a Global One Health approach. Janina, back to you.
Thank you so much, Joukje, and we are so excited to receive your applications around Global One Health. So next up, we have Nafin joining us, and Nafin has a very special story to share because she has been with the World Food Forum from year one. She was a participant and then winner of the very first Transformative Research Challenge in 2021, and then she joined our TRC jury last year, and this year we are also collaborating on yet another special prize. So Nafin, over to you, over to Rome.
Yeah, thank you, Janina. It is my pleasure to be here among this inspiring group of young scientists. My name is Nafin Amadar. I work at the International Water Management Institute as a research officer on water resources management. And as Janina said, I consider myself part of this initiative of the World Food Forum, like since its inception in 2021. One of my colleagues at EMI shared the call for applications to participate in the Transformative Research Challenge, and it was the first call of the World Food Forum. And at that point of time, I was finishing up work on a project in Jordan around promoting water-saving technologies in irrigated agriculture. And I thought that, my project fits very well under the theme of the World Food Forum, which is transforming agri-food systems. And me and my colleague, Dr. Arif Anwar, who is an aspiring researcher, wrote a concept note and we applied. And we successfully passed all the stages of the assessments, and we were awarded the first prize winners in the flagship event in 2021. But things didn't stop there, because I continued, my interaction with the World Food Forum, and I was invited to participate in multiple events like this one for the STI, where we were trying to promote the role of young scientists in identifying and scaling innovative approaches to agri-food systems transformation. And I was also honored to participate as an advisor to the judges in the Transformative Research Challenge last year, in the flagship event where we had 4 winners. And as Janina said, we are planning to continue this collaboration for sure, and to make it more productive through working on designing a special prize for the water, for the role of water in agri-food systems. And we hope we can make this happen this year. If not this year, probably it's going to be the next year. I think it's coming. It's a matter of time. Thank you so much, Janina. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Nafin. And it's so nice to see you again, even if it's virtual. So we're happy to have you. Thanks for sharing your story. Our third panelist is here right next to me, Davrina. She is another winner of the Transformative Research Challenge, last year's winner, actually, and also a participant in the first ever Youth Food Lab. So, Davrina, please introduce yourself, tell us more about the work you're doing with Mama for Planet, and also how this idea started and what your team is working on. Over to you.
Thank you. Hello to all participants around the world. It's such an honor to be here. My name is Davrina, representing Mama for Planet Indonesia, one of the team in Youth Food Lab cohort this year. So Burj Khalifa is the tallest building in the world. But can we imagine a Burj Khalifa that made of food waste? That is what's happening in my home country, Indonesia. Only in one city in my country, we have the total amount of food waste combined would be as high as Burj Khalifa. So it's an emerging priority in Indonesia. Sleman is one of the regency in Indonesia. It is in the province of special region of Yogyakarta, recently stating that they are in the state of waste emergency. And it is estimated that food waste account for 50 to 60% of total waste, and 60% of the food waste coming from household. In Sleman, usually we are able to send our waste to a neighboring city, but because we didn't have any landfill yet. But this year, the magnitude of waste issues has been escalating, and therefore we are not allowed to send the waste any longer to this other city. So we don't have any other choices other than reducing the food waste at source. And when we're talking about household, I think the first thing that comes to our mind is mothers. We believe that mothers, or we call it mama in Indonesia, are the key actors to initiate behaviors towards healthier planet at household level, including to reduce food waste. However, their role is often underestimated even by themselves. So here, we're trying to empower Sleman mothers through several key activities which center towards raising awareness and empowering the female community health volunteers, or we call it cadres, as the influencers to the mothers, and activate their roles to initiate behavioral changes in the community. What we do is we developed educational modules and tools on food waste reduction, including mindful eating, smart shopping, and also composting, with support from the Sleman Environmental Agency and Indonesian Ministry of Health. And these cadres were invited to join a training of trainers, and then after that, they conducted a cadre-led education session to the local mothers. And lastly, local mothers were then joining a gamification activities that was designed to reduce food waste. And we have finished our pilot project last year with a target of 10%. So we use a waste survey as we want to promote an evidence-based program. Surprisingly, in our project, mothers are able to reduce food waste up to 62%. So I think this is an important sign that they do have the potentials and that needs to be empowered and activated. So lastly, we would say that we need to acknowledge this. So our key success to build for this project is to build a solid partnerships with the government and the local communities and NGOs that working in these waste issues. We have to acknowledge the active participation of the government. Strong political will truly matters. This helps to push forward the program. As know, we are also partnering with the government to design policies for waste reduction, including food waste. And this is the next step that we bring in the Youth Food Lab cohort. We learn a lot. We learn system mapping, storytelling, and they do really helpful for us to help our discussion with the local government. So it has been really, really exciting journey overall. Thank you.
Thanks, Davrina. And of course, we are very happy to hear that you're happy with the Youth Food Lab. And it's just inspiring to follow your progress with Mama for Planet. So thank you for sharing that with us. I think seeing the impact of these transformative, initially research-based ideas is very inspiring. And so, Yaukia, I would like to hear from you. In your opinion, how can transformative and research-based ideas help our agri-food system, and particularly in your area of work? You mentioned preventing potential next pandemics. So how can these solutions help? And then on that note, what kind of ideas specifically are we looking for in this year's special prize on Global One Health? Over to you.
Thank you. Well, Janina, let's start by echoing the views heard before this afternoon by the FAO chief economist. Science and technology lie at the basis of any successful transformation, and it is at the heart of both the World Food Forum and Wageningen University to empower youth to accomplish youth-led transformations. So COVID-19 was, of course, a prime example of the One Health challenge that was thrown at us, and many are still reeling and recovering. So it is increasingly recognized that such challenges, big and small, acute or of longer duration, require collaborative approaches between people from different fields of expertise. For example, wildlife experts need to coordinate with land use policymakers or with livestock experts, or preferably even, maybe in some cases, both of them. Experts who understand human behavior or communication need to be able to align with them too. And promising solutions may turn out to be a failure if they are, for some reason, unaffordable. So economists also need to join the conversation. So turning to the prevention of possible future outbreaks, agri-food systems around the world form a significant part of ever and rapidly changing interfaces between plants, wildlife and livestock, and humans. So when pathogens that we don't know yet pop up, either in animals or in humans, it tends to be at these interfaces. Thus, the agri-food system is a place where fostering health can make a real impact. The world needs solutions that reduce the occurrence of emerging infections and limit the spread of potentially zoonotic pathogens. For this, we need ecosystems in balance, without pollutants, and with healthy and biodiverse populations of animals and plants. We also need balanced animal husbandry systems that deliver what we need, but with minimal impact on the world. To be able to create such ecosystems and food systems, we need research to understand what these systems should look like and what balance needs to be struck. So we also need to realize that this may vary over scales and over different geographic locations. So that means, in my opinion, that we need as many people from as many different types of locations using their local and expert knowledge to help, and doing so by using a global One Health approach. That means we're looking to optimize and balance not only human health, but also animal and plant health. Can we, for example, make trade systems safer for food? Or are there better ways or better places to keep our livestock? Maybe are there better things to feed them? Are there particular wild animal species that we should try to avoid in hunting, or maybe from having contact with specific types of livestock? For us, proposed projects or solutions should aim to reduce the rate of spillover of pathogens between different animal species in a system, or to minimize their impact. So research to help us recognize infections as early as possible is also encouraged. And projects may be very practical in nature, such as field studies or developing a prototype of something, or they can aim to deliver new insights through desk studies. I hope that gives you some good ideas, and we'll really look forward to seeing your applications. Back to you, Janina.
Thanks so much, Jouke. And yes, we do look forward to the applications. Once again, we will show the QR code in the end of this session. Thanks for joining us, Jouke. Let's see how our colleagues in Rome are doing. Maria, Pablo, are you enjoying these insights as much as we are here in New York?
Thank you, Janina. Yes, we are, and it is really inspiring to see how our past winners have been progressing with their own research projects and in their own technical expertise area. We actually have a question to our panelists here. Nafan, what do you think the importance between transforming our agri-food systems in order to bolster climate action? And specifically, what is the role of water playing on this?
Yeah. Speaking of agri-food systems, you know, they are the most important provider for food security and for ending hunger. But as Dr. Maximo said like half an hour ago, these systems so far can be said that they are not, let's say, they are not balanced, okay? And they contribute to harmful emissions. So we need to do the transformation of agri-food systems in a sustainable, inclusive, and efficient way to make sure that our efforts will contribute to reducing climate change impact, to improving ecosystem services, to increasing biodiversity. This is in general, but on the role of water, you know, water is the main input to agri-food systems. And water at the same time is affected by climate change and by human activities. So if we don't manage water properly, water could break our agri-food systems. So it's very important for us also as actors in the food systems to strengthen the coordination of water food systems to make sure there will be water available in sufficient quality and quantity to make this transformation in agri-food systems. Thank you.
Thank you, Nafan, for your wonderful explanation and for highlighting the role of water in agri-food systems. Okay, now let's see if there are any other questions for our panelists in New York. Over to you, Janina and Ed.
Thank you, Maria, Pablo, and Nafan. We have one last question here in New York for Davrina. So, Davrina, as a participant in the TRC and the Youth Food Lab, you have gained quite some experience. What is your advice for young and youthful researchers and innovators who want to make a positive impact in agri-food systems transformation?
Yeah, being the winner of TRC and involved in Youth Food Lab, definitely a game changer for us. We learn how to make our program more impactful and effective. We remember very well in TRC, there's an advice to pinpoint which steps of food waste generation process that more dominant in our community. And that's a gold advice that we're trying to implement for the future, our scaling up program. We are really grateful that we are able to connect and learn from other teams as well in the Youth Food Lab cohort. So the key advice for young researchers and innovators, we would say 3 advice. The first one is to be aware of the surrounding communities. Start with the small action in small communities. I think it's already mentioned before, trying to implement ideas into action. And the second one is monitoring and evaluation is a continuing process. It is always important to adjust our idea or our plan with the context of the community that we are working on, and trying not to become an outsider that implement the program, but be a partner. So it would make the role more equal in terms of decision-making authority of the program. And lastly, this has always been mentioned, collaboration is the key, especially from different fields and expertise. I think that is also what we found in youth. There is an excitement to work together towards a goal. So in Mama for Planet, for example, we have a core team from Indonesia, Bangladesh, and US. We have our co-founder here, Nathan from US. So we also coming from different expertise from nutrition, health, technology, and also, of course, environment. So this would also open to more opportunities, resources, brainstorming sessions. So I think that also enrich the way we provide the solutions, including the Mama for Planet or any program that we have been working on. And we believe that only through collaboration we will see the changes that we are aiming to see. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tavrina, for sharing this with us and sharing your advice with other aspiring innovators and researchers. At the World Food Forum Innovation Lab, we invite anyone, no matter which stage you are at, to participate in our activities. We are happy to build out an idea with you or support your existing startup. So we do hope you apply to this year's TRC challenge if you are a researcher. If you have your own startup, I think the next panel will be particularly interesting. So it's my pleasure now to hand it over to my colleague Ed for the third part of this session.
Yes, thank you, Janina, and thank you all for those comments there. So for this last panel, we're now going to be looking at our more advanced or most advanced solutions. And the title of this panel is Empowering Young Startups and Entrepreneurs. And as we know, as Maximo said at the beginning of this meeting, the scope of the challenges that we're facing in agri-food systems and in climate are massive, and we are not on track to achieve the SDGs. So if we have any chance to actually make the progress we need to, we have to work with all stakeholders together. And one key stakeholder that I think is incredibly critical to sparking the innovation we need is the private sector, and in particular, young entrepreneurs, young startups who are focused on finding those next game-changing creative solutions that are going to propel us forward. So this is why 2 years ago, just about exactly 2 years ago, we launched the World Food Forum Startup Innovation Awards powered by Extreme Tech Challenge. And the purpose of this is to find, to boost, to support these startups and young entrepreneurs who are making a difference in transforming agri-food systems. So I'm honored to welcome our partner here, Victoria Slivkov, who's joined us in New York. She is the executive managing director of Extreme Tech Challenge, and she has been here since the beginning with us. And she's going to mention a little bit about the awards, why they're so critical, and also bring in a past winner to speak about the experience. So Victoria, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ed, for this wonderful introduction. It's a pleasure to be here with our friends and colleagues. They're working on so many impactful initiatives. Extreme Tech Challenge, or XTC as we're known, was founded about a decade ago by two legendary Silicon Valley investors, Young Sung and Bill Tai, with the mission of inspiring and supporting entrepreneurs that are building innovations to address the UN Sustainable Development Goals. We give outstanding entrepreneurs 4 things. First is global visibility. Second, access to potential venture capital investment. Third, access to potential corporate strategic partnerships to help you take that innovation forward. And fourth, mentorship in supporting the scaling of your companies. And these are very exciting times as we see potentially profitable businesses and sustainability-oriented solutions coming together. And that overlap is creating a flashpoint in valuation that we've never seen before, because the capital markets today recognizes that our planet is in trouble, and unless there's something that we can do to enhance and create a better planet, we might not exist. So therefore, there's an outsized reward for entrepreneurs that are building innovations to drive that fundamental change, structural change in creating a better world. And this is the catalyst that's driving capital towards these purpose-driven entrepreneurs, especially our youth that are building innovations in these areas today. There are no better times, as many of us mentioned today, for entrepreneurs to really tackle climate change through transforming our agri-food systems. Tech innovations spawn from scientific discoveries and breakthroughs, as well as engineering innovations such as data and AI and rapid digitalization are really driving transformative changes across multiple industries, including ag tech and food tech. Our work here, in collaboration with the UN Food and Agriculture Organization and the World Food Forum, is to leverage the Global Ecosystem Extreme Tech Challenge to inspire and support these entrepreneurs, to give them the network that can help them take that innovation forward, and in a goal to boost climate actions to achieve the 2030 agenda items. The magic of XTC, as I've said before, is really within the power of this global community, a network of relationships and friendships that can carry founders far into the future. Now, to give you a sense of our work, I'd like to introduce this video of XTC.
We have many difficult challenges that we are all facing. So what can you do about that using technology?
I am extraordinarily impressed with this program. The Extreme Tech Challenge is an outstanding program for entrepreneurs around the world, and I was incredibly impressed with the energy and passion and overall quality of the companies and entrepreneurs I had a chance to meet.
If you're a founder of a startup, you want to make a real impact and you want to go global, then the best platform you can choose is Extreme Tech Challenge.
You want to mobilize the community of startups as well as corporations.
Many of our generation kind of mess up the planet. You guys might be able to fix it.
I am so pleased to announce that we have officially launched this year's World Food Forum Startup Innovation Awards powered by Extreme Tech Challenge. We have enjoyed a fruitful collaboration with the World Food Forum and our colleagues at FAO to really harness the strength of our XTC ecosystem to inspire and elevate the next generation of youth and entrepreneurs that are driving sustainable transformation of our agri-food systems. Same as the previous years, we will have 4 competition categories: better production, better nutrition, better environment, and better life. And from that, we will select a Startup Innovator of the Year award. The final competition is going to be held in Rome, the UN FAO headquarters at the World Food Forum this October. So we are so excited now the competition's open that I hope to see many of you apply that are working on solutions in transforming our agri-food systems. The website is open now, so please check the Extreme Tech Challenge and the World Food Forum website for details. And now I'd like to check in with a previous winner of this competition just to get a sense of how participating has helped him scale his venture forward. I am so pleased to introduce the 2022 Better Production category winner, Umami Meats. Umami Meats is cultivating a sustainable seafood future by producing delicious, nutritious, affordable, cultivated seafood that's better for our health, our ocean, and our future. Please welcome its co-founder and CEO, Mihir Prashad. Mihir, you have the floor.
Thanks very much. And for the opportunity to speak to everyone here today about our journey and how the World Food Forum has helped us along that journey. So we're a 3-year-old company, headquartered in Singapore, and now starting to go more global with operations in Europe and the US. And Umami Meats at its core is developing production technology to enable the traditional food production industry that makes our seafood today to adopt technology that will allow them to make cell-cultured fish in the future. And we are still early in this journey. We're a 3-year-old company now, but we're starting to get first products in front of regulators and getting ready to have those in the market next year, and have been able to secure some partnerships with world-leading food companies. And I think some of the credibility that we've gained by being on stage at the World Food Forum last year in Rome, and being able to say that others have belief in this technology, that it has the potential to enable sustainable production where that does not exist today for certain species of fish, for example, has really helped, because I think big companies tend to look for these kinds of indicators of credibility for startups to choose who to engage with and how much of their attention to put into new technologies. And now going forward, our focus is on making this cultivated seafood technology a real solution to some of the pending challenges we have in front of us in terms of contamination in our seafood supply, from heavy metals, from microplastics, as well as being able to meet growing demand with technology that is a step in improvement beyond what we're able to do today. So thanks very much for the time, and look forward to seeing what the participants are able to achieve this year.
Thank you for joining us today. We welcome all entrepreneurs building in the area of building better production, better nutrition, better life, and better environment to enter this year's Startup Innovation Awards, and I look forward to learning about your work. Finalists will have access to coaching programming, live and online networking events, mentorship, and tapping into XTC's global network of venture capitalists, corporate executives, and domain experts to really help take your innovative ideas, impactful ideas forward, because we believe in scalability in terms of ramping up your impact. And so check out the Extreme Tech Challenge YouTube channel, as we have many helpful tips for entrepreneurs in the art of company building. And this is not just to address our SDGs, but also creating the innovation economy so that the benefit can be felt by all. I hope to see many of you at the finale event in Rome in October, and follow Extreme Tech Challenge and the World Food Forum to stay in touch. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Victoria, and thank you to Mihir for joining us. I do hope to see some amazing applications this year, and we will see who ends up showing up in Rome as a finalist. And with this, we're moving to the concluding part of our panel. We actually are very honored to have two senior leaders who are some of the most important people in terms of empowering young people and providing the guidance, the mentorship, and the support that they need to be able to make these changes and invest themselves and have themselves heard. We have actually, I believe, en route to the UN headquarters in New York, Ismahan El-Wafi, who I think will be talking to us from a car. She's the chief scientist here at FAO and has a big proponent of young scientists, of young innovators here at the UN. And then we will also have back in Rome some final parting words from Maximo Torero-Cullen, the chief economist of FAO. But to start, I would like to hopefully pass this over to Ismahan in her car. And first of all, thank you very much for making the time. I know that you have rearranged your schedule just to be able to join us today, and I think that shows the priority that you're giving to empowering young people. So Ismahan, if you can hear us in the car, we will pass the floor over to you.
Yes, I hear you fine. I hope you can hear me as well.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, and apology for not being able to make it in person with you in the room in New York, HQ. But actually, I'm on the way. I'm very close. It's a pleasure really to join you today and join this wonderful gathering of fellow scientists and innovators. I would like really to thank the World Food Forum for inviting me to join my colleague Maximo, the chief economist, in this closing remarks. Young people are very important, and they're important because they are mostly a sign of hope, a sign of change as well. And if we look at the population rates, 1/6 of the global population are youth, and 88% of those 1/6 of the population, it's mostly in the least and middle income countries. So unfortunately, these are the very same countries that have a huge gap when we talk about adoption and scalability of science, technology, and innovation. With that in mind, we will only be able to transform our agriculture system, be it with the component that I heard today from our young winners, be it on the water management side, on the food waste and loss side, on increasing productivity, increasing nutrition, caring for the environment, having a better income for our producers and farmers. All of these, we can't do it unless really we take on technologies and innovation and we scale them up in those least and middle income countries. Ladies and gentlemen, FAO believes that science, technology, and innovation can accelerate the transformation of agri-food system towards more efficiency, more inclusiveness, more resiliency, and more sustainability. And I'm very happy to hear you all talking so eloquently on our four betters. And those four betters for us are really a way to portray how we can together have four betters for everybody, be it, as you said, better production, better nutrition, better environment, and better life, leaving no one behind. I would also like to assure you that FAO gives particular attention to youth and to young people, women and men, with a particular emphasis on girls. As a proud Canadian, I like very much the fact that we bring girls in the mix, because the particular attention to very young child, be it from the woman, from female young child, it's very important, because that's where change is going to start. So therefore, the FAO Science and Innovation Strategy gives particular attention to the needs and active participation of youth, along with the small-scale producers, the family farmers, the indigenous people, the woman and the girl, as well as the underrepresented agri-food system actors. And of course, in relation to the innovation and entrepreneurship, my call to the young innovators here, it's very beautiful to continue doing research. It's very beautiful to go in academic or scientific path and careers, but also it's very exciting to do entrepreneurship, to take those innovations to the ground and make them really useful to the people in a much more tangible way. And my call for you is to do it early on. As far as you go in the path of academia and research, it takes you away from entrepreneurship. So I compare myself, and I'm very happy with my position and my career. However, I compare myself with my colleagues that took on the entrepreneurship path, and I find it quite a different, exciting career. So I want to, my call for you is to take both and try to jump into entrepreneurship and taking your innovation to a tangible product on the market if you got that chance. So let me also, my fellow scientists and innovators, let me take this chance to remind you that your involvement is crucial in building a better and more inclusive world. Science, be it natural sciences, social sciences, economic sciences, and all other sciences can contribute to solutions for the problems of our world. And we all agree that there are very, very challenging issues and challenges, and they're very much interconnected. Before I became a chief scientist, I built my scientific career, starting from a young scientist and innovator like you, just like any other people in this room, really be chief, senior scientist, or in whatever position they are. They were once young. Well, so be bold. Don't let anything stop you. Work your path through, and particularly take advantage of opportunities. Opportunities come across your path once a while. So you have to be really ready for it. And to be ready for it, you need to have to build both skills, your technical skills, but also your soft skills, your networking skills, your connectivity skills as well. So I vividly remember that my first trip outside Morocco was to Belgium, and I got a fellowship from the Belgian government to go there. And when I applied in the Belgian embassy in Rabat in Morocco, I remember the Belgian lady, the officer, told me, you know, Ismahan, how much chances you have to get it? I said, how much? She said, 2%. Imagine 2%. And they said, okay, I'll give it a try. And I got that fellowship. So persistence and taking advantage of opportunities is key to success. Today, I would like to encourage you to seize all available opportunities to educate and train yourself, improve your skills, grow your professional network, and progress in your career, and pay attention to the entrepreneurship possibilities and opportunities. A special note to my fellow female scientists and innovator. Please remember that every woman and every girl deserves an opportunity to excel in any career of their choice, especially in scientific and technological careers where significant gender gap, unfortunately, has persisted throughout the years at all levels, all over the world. So please continue to shine in your careers and help achieve a more inclusive world. Ladies and gentlemen, let me also welcome the initiative being launched by the World Food Forum, the Transformative Research Challenge, and the Startup Innovation Awards. And thank you for all the young people that are working very hard to push both those initiatives. I'm also glad to welcome the new cohort of Young Scientists Group. You are privileged to be part of this group, so take advantage of it and bring in with it your networks. So what we need is the ripple effect. We need you really to bring in a large number of scientists that are connected with you so that our program can touch the life of 1,000 and 1,000 of young scientists. I'm happy to have taken part in these initiatives to support our young scientists and innovators in the past few years. And I'm also pleased to announce that the second edition of Science and Innovation Forum will be with the World Food Forum in October, and I hope to see many of you in Rome. So to conclude, let me congratulate all the young scientists and innovators around the world who are participating in today's event and in the STI Forum in New York. Despite the challenges, you are doing great wherever you are, but you can do much more. So please never stop really striving and trying hard to get to your dream and to make your dream a reality. So thank you again for the organizer. Unfortunately, I'll be arriving to UN HQs in a few minutes, but I'm sure I'm going to see you around during the Science, Technology, and Innovation Forum. Thank you very much, and over to you, Edward.
Thank you very much, Ismahan, for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you here at the UNHQ shortly. This was a very encouraging and inspiring speech. It was great to hear your own personal story, and thanks so much for the advice you shared with our teams of innovators and researchers. I believe it's very valuable for them as well. So now, for one last time, let us go back to our colleagues in Rome. Over to you, Maria and Pablo.
Thank you, Janina, and thank you, Ismahan, for your support of the World Food Forum and also for speaking about different paths that we as young people can follow. But now I would like to hand the floor over to Mr. Maximo Torreira-Collen, FAO Chief Economist and Chair of the FAO Youth Committee. Maximo, would you like to share with us any closing reflections on this event today? The floor is yours.
Oh, thank you very much to all. Thank you very much, Ismahan, for joining us on the car way to the headquarters. Crazy life that we have. But let me just finalize bringing some very brief things that I hope can help. First, I think given the challenges we have to be as effective as possible. So spend time identifying the problem you want to solve. Don't jump into it. Think carefully what is the problem you want to solve and what is there already and what is new that you can bring up to resolve that problem. Human capital is central, and that's why we want this new young scientist group, and we want it to keep growing. So the ones which are finishing, they will continue, I hope. So we need to scale up, as Ismahan was saying, and we need to create the spillovers on what you are achieving here. The second element, or the third element, is evidence. Always use evidence as much as you can. Don't be shy of questioning whoever. Question whoever you think is wrong if you have the evidence. When you want to question somebody, you need to know the answer first. Don't just question for questioning. It's very important. Experiment. It's crucial to experiment, and I think the Youth Food Lab that you are creating will play a crucial role in that. So keep experimenting, keep looking for new solutions, keep thinking new ways of doing it. I was impressed when this young group of kids of Israel came to FAO last year, and how much work they have put to bring evidence and science and to try to resolve problems. So please try to do that, try to bring as much as possible evidence. And of course, the startups are essential because it's not just the idea, the solution, the science, but we need to act and we need to bring solutions. So the startups, and I'm very happy to hear today how successful this startup was, which I think I was in the committee selecting those startups. So congratulations to all the ones which are succeeding. But the transformation research challenge is crucial for that. It's a way that we can scale up and we can have a mechanism to promote more your work. And as I said before, this year we will have investments linked to youth, and that's what we want to achieve. And finally, impact, crucial. We need to create impact. We need to change. We need to move forward. So congratulations to all of you. Congratulations on your publication. I'm very happy that you have a report out. That's accountability. And let's keep moving forward. You are showing that you can act and create impact. So let's keep moving the car, as I said at the beginning. And thank you all for being here with us. And good luck, and see you soon in the World Food Forum. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Maximo, for your encouraging words and also your tireless commitment and also continued support to empower young people. I take some keynotes from your reflections. The first important thing is, of course, identifying the problems and adding to the solutions who are already there, and how we can build evidence-based policy, and even young people can do that. And the last one is the importance of moving from ideation, as reflected in our Transformative Research Challenge, to tangible and impactful solutions, which can be reflected in our Startup Innovation Awards. So thank you once again. Thank you for your continued support to us.
Now we have come to the end of our event today. First of all, I would like to thank all the speakers who joined us today in person and online for your inspiring contributions and all the stories that you shared with us. Moreover, I want to thank our audience here today. I want to thank all the young people who came here, students, researchers, innovators, young leaders. Let's not forget that it's our ideas and it's our commitment that can make a meaningful change to the world. I hope that you enjoyed today's event as much as we did. And I would like to hand the floor over to our colleagues to New York for their closing reflections. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria and Pablo. Thank you, Maximo. Thanks to everyone who joined us from Rome. Thank you as well to everyone here in New York. We had people flying from all over the world, people joining from cars. It's been quite an event today, so thank you for your time. I think it does really show the passion that everyone has behind this. I guess lastly, we've heard kind of all about how critical it is to empower young people, empower the next generation to find these solutions. So please do join us. We thank you all for your support of the World Food Forum, and I'll pass it over to Yanina, who will give some ways that you can find out about everything you just learned about in this event, and join us hopefully soon. Yanina?
Thanks, Ed. So I've mentioned it a couple of times. We have prepared a slide with a QR code that we would like to share with all of you. So by scanning the code, you will find all of the information we have presented here today. There it is. So you will find a link to the Young Scientist Group report. You will find information about the new Young Scientist cohort that was launched today. And you will also find the application form, as well as more information for both the Transformative Research Challenge as well as the Startup Innovation Awards. And then lastly, you will also find more information about our Youth Food Lab teams. So finally, once you have all scanned the code, I would like to invite you on behalf of the World Food Forum to our flagship event in October from the 16th, starting on World Food Day, to the 20th, which will be in Rome or online. So we hope to see many of you there. Thank you once again for joining us today.